put my screen and just talk you through this, and then the video I'll make live in a moment.
Yeah.
And it'll all make sense. So what I'll do
What
is
you do?
I've made a 10 by 10 centimeter or 100mm square, similar to this label, okay?
Yeah.
And then what I've done, I've taken that flower that you've just mentioned, and I've put it onto it. So I've dragged it to my desktop, and I've just dragged it across, and I can move it around where I think I want it, okay? Now, ideally, you should have a piece of paper with your sketch out, okay?
Yeah, to
Sketched
follow.
out, just to follow as an idea. In this case, I'm just going to draw around this using a felt tip, this picture. I'll make a new layer, so I'll just do that now. Okay, I'm just going to delete the one that I've just made. Okay, so I'll make a new layer because you don't want to work on your layer.
Yeah, in case you ruin it.
Yeah, and also you need a fresh layer. So what I'm going to do is make a black line and then put a colour behind the line.
Okay.
So there's my layer there. You'll be able to see it. I'm going to choose my brush. At the top of the toolbar, you've got all your options. You know that, yeah?
Yeah.
The size of your brush, etc. If that doesn't show and it's just nothing there, you have to go to Window and it's actually options. You'll see it. As I'm talking, I'm actually clicking, so you'll see.
So you see.
Yeah, there it is there. So I'm going to see what brush I've got. I've got this kind of hard round brush. Its hardness is 100%, which means it won't fade. Like fairy. Okay.
Right, I get you. So blends out.
Yeah, it's going to be like a Sharpie rather than a really soft pencil, sort of speaking. The size of the brush I'm going to use is probably 30, 25, about 20. Okay. The quick key command, by the way, for your size of your brush is the brackets on your keyboard.
Oh yeah.
On the right hand side, if you click on the one on the right, it makes it bigger. The one on the left makes it smaller.
So with mine, because it's a Lenovo, mine would be Control, wouldn't it, and the brackets?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a black line. There you go. Just done that then. There. So I'm ready to actually draw a picture now. And because it's on its own layer, it's fine. I'm going to do a continuous line drawing. Okay.
What do you mean by that? Continuous line drawing?
Just
repeat the same line.
No, I'm just not going to take my mouse off the screen, off the thing. And I think you've done it with Donna anyway, line drawings in live drawing classes with.
Yeah, we've done line drawings where you have no tone to it, so it's just a line of the flower.
It's actually working okay. It's a bit of a mess because there's no definition of tone or colour. But when you do it, it'll make sense. When you actually start adding colour.
When it's the screen.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a bit abstract, to be fair, what I'm doing. But what I'll do is I'll make this live on YouTube. And then you can just review it back. But by listening to what I'm saying and doing it, incidentally, you are being filmed as well.
Oh, great. Oh.
I know. Talk about breach of trust and all kinds, isn't it?
I know. I would have done my makeup. No, do you know what it is? Creatively, it is hard because I can't seem to get that flow. You know, if you're in class, you're right. I'll start my mind map. I'll do a few rough sketches, and from there, But right now, I just feel all over the place when I'm looking at stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm the same. I've got a project for a gin company at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's getting there, but it's pretty tough. I'm gonna make a new layer now. And this layer, I'm gonna put green, and I could go to my color swatches on the left and choose a green from here. Okay, I am showing you. Okay, but instead, I'm gonna actually go to my Pipette, which is just here on the toolbar. Yeah, and choose a green, and whichever one I click on appears there. There you go. So I'm gonna now get my brush again, and because I've made a new layer, I can paint over the top of this. I'm gonna make it slightly bigger. And what I'm going to do, just to help you understand and see what I'm doing, I'm going to drag my layer down behind the black line. And what happens then is this. You can see it on the screen. I'm just going to knock the opacity down on this picture so you can see what I'm doing. Whoops, sorry, that one there. See? You'll get this.
I can't see. But yeah.
And now I can't share the screen. I don't know why. And what's happening is I'm painting this flower with these colours. Okay, and that's that. You can use your paint bucket and fill it, but you know what? You may as well do it this way, and you've got some more autonomy. If you do make a mistake, you can just use your rubber.
I'm rubbing out.
And just rub it out. And as you get to the corners, like here, make the brush smaller. And by using the quick key command, which is the brackets on the keyboard, it works better for you. Rather than going to the top of the toolbar and having to click on the slider every now and then. There's as a designer, you're constantly refining the way you work to make things quicker. So if you're doing a job and you've got to do that job, say 5 times, on the first attempt, you do it a certain way and then you refine it, and then second, third, fourth, fifth way, it gets better and better and quicker, really. Because in the design world, time is money.
Yeah. I mean, and so is repetition though, and that's how I learn. If I repeat and repeat, like I know how to get me colours now. I know how to do me boxes and put me colours in, and then get the pipette and put that. I've nailed that off the others, and I've done it so many times. But there's obviously a lot with this project that we haven't done yet. That I mean, I can even warp all my handwriting. I know how to warp all my writing and everything. So, but there's certain aspects of putting it all together, like. The other day I done something and lay it down by accident, and then I couldn't undo it, and I was like, oh my god, I've just lost a load of work because I've pressed the wrong button.
I mean,
I've learned that one, don't touch that button anymore.
I always save my work as I go along, but I've got my computer set to save every 10 seconds.
Have you? How did you do? Is that another function? That'd be a good function, because
I don't know how I did it. I'll be honest. It's one of them things. I lost a piece of work recently, and when I turned the computer back on, it was there. And then I looked into it, and I don't know if it's the new Mac or what. Maybe I'm just naive and don't. It's probably there all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to make another layer, and this time I'm going to choose a cream, which is the inside of the flower. Or a lighter green sort of thing, and that's what I've just done now. Reason I do that is because in case I want to change the green or put a strange effect using filters on the green of the flower, or use the colour burn, which blends it, gives it some tone. What I'll do that in a second and show you a little trick, okay?
Yeah.
There you go, I'll just leave it like that. So the leaves, where a leaf bends, one part's going to be lighter and darker. There's a really neat trick you can do, and it's this. I'm just going to click on the green layer. Just going to go to my rubber first. Where do I find? I don't tend to use the rubber. There it is, the eraser tool, and just rub out that bit there. Okay, it's called the dodge. There he is. Sorry, it's not that one. That's that one. Dodge and burn. Okay, so if I click on dodge, again, on the top toolbar, all my brushes are there, and at the moment it's fairy, like I said before. It's either a Sharpie, which is hard, or soft and blended, like a pencil. And I'm going to choose that one, okay? So the hardness is actually 0. Okay, as I'm talking, I'm showing you, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to click on the that tool, okay? And it makes it lighter. See? If I click off it and do it again, it makes it lighter still. Okay, so I'm going to undo what I've just done by pressing Command Z. Okay, or if you have your history palette up,
you can click back.
Yeah, history's in your window and it's histories. Okay, so not histogram, it's called history. So while I've got this tool called a dodge tool selected, I could choose the burn tool, and the quick key command for burn is control. Let me just see. It's option. No, it's not. Is it control option? Yeah, sorry, it's shift. Okay, let me do all that again. So I can make it darker here in the picture by pressing shift. You'll see when it happens.
When it happens.
In fact, I'm not going bonkers. It's usually, is it shift command? don't use it often enough. That's why I forget sometimes.
Mm.
Okay, option makes it lighter.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I am actually alternating. That's what's happening. It's my fault. So I'm on the dodge. That'll make it lighter. Press cook option makes it darker. My mistake. So I've got dodge selected. Okay, I'm going to make it lighter just here. Make it darker there by pressing option. Okay. Make it darker there by pressing option. It'll all make sense when you see this. Taking my finger off the option tool to make it lighter. Okay, make it darker just here. Oh, the kids are coming up lighter. So you'll see what happens when. There you go.
When you change it.
When you see it, there you go. Make that lighter, darker there. Okay. You can also do it with this cream effect. So I'm going to press dark, make it darker there. See? Okay. Right, I'm going to now click off the layer, which is called unnamed, which is the flower. And that's what you're left with. You'll see it. Okay.
On the thing.
And then what you can do is you can put a colour in the background, on the background layer, make a new layer there. And you could choose like a pigment or not a pigment, a colour. Go to your paint bucket tool, fill it in. You could also drag in a texture. Have I given you some paper textures yet?
No.
I'll do that now, okay. When I've done that then, you can then choose...
You also said there's a gold, because I struggled to get, even though I was on a gold picture and the gold looked different and I went from the darker side to the lighter side, when it came out, it wasn't actually gold, it was just different tones of mustard.
Okay. I mean, there isn't actually a gold. That's more of a special effect using different filters. And if you go to image adjustments and play with the filters there, you can actually start using gradients. It's a different thing. I've typed the word Bladnoch. Now, when you're doing this, have a list of what needs to be on the label. The distillery, Bladnoch Distillery, Lowlands single malt, Scotch whiskey because it's Scotland, 10 years or 25 years. I think for this we said 10 years. And the volume, okay? They're the kind of main things that you need. What I've just done, I've typed the word Bladnoch in a typeface. I'm pressing Command T, and by pressing Shift to constrain it, I'm just going to write the word Bladnoch. Press Enter, and then I can start to add the rest of the typeface. These layers now, these 3 layers that I've made, which is the green, the black, and the cream colour, you can press on either the top one or the bottom one. I'll click on the bottom one, which is the green. Press Shift and click on the top, and that way they're all linked. Yeah. But also, what you can do is go to your little hamburger in layers here. You'll see this, and press either merge layers, which will flatten that all together.
Done that by accident.
Yeah. It's not bad if you do that, but then you won't be able to edit colours.
You can't. Yeah, you can't go back.
No. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just link layers, which means they're just chained together. And
so you can unchain them then.
Yeah, and you know, if I move that bottom layer now, they'll all move together. If I resize it, they'll go together. Okay, so I could put that in the bottom corner or wherever. The original Bladnoch bottle, as we've already seen, both of us, was that. It's got that kind of flower orchid. It's got a real rustic looking label. I've got that texture, okay, in one of my folders. Let me just get my folders up.
Okay.
I'll show you where I have them, and I'll send you this file. I've got a folder called Atomica. Let me get it. Oh, I'm getting messages here now. Where is he? Atomica. There it is. Atomica tests. And in this, I've got paper textures. So what I'll do, you'll see this. I'll show you these. And this one here called Water Stain is actually like that label.
Like the way they, because it's quite, because they've tried to make it look old, haven't they? Like it's been lying around in the sun or something. That's what it looks like.
I mean, to be fair, that label does look actually really quite vintage. But I have a bottle of that whiskey somewhere because I went to that distillery. I've never been to any other distillery except for that one, I think. But I'll show you what you can do. when you get these layers, you just drag that layer onto your artwork. Press enter. Okay, drag it to the back of the layer. Sorry, drag it on top of the layer.
Layer, so you can see
Press
about.
multiply. So what you do is you press multiply. It's there, and you can see the texture coming through. Okay,
Oh,
and then because that paper there is quite a mottled, kind of thick paper, I'd say that was this one here. It's called smooth cotton. I'm going to drag it on now and put that on as well and press multiply. Multiply helps you see things behind it. And if I zoom in on this Bladnoch now, you can see the texture is very similar. Okay?
Yeah.
So what you've got is a basic line drawing filled in with colour. Okay? Word Bladnoch, then the texture of the paper, and all the other components. And I think you could do this. It's dead simple.
Yeah.
You know, Bladnoch, get the word distillery in there. What I'll do, Stace, I'll make this. Hello, who's this?
Hi.
Hi. Thumb.
The future, eh?
Thank you.
Did that work?
Sorry about that. I apologise.
It's okay.
Did that work?
Yeah.
I've been working hard labour in the garden. I've been building and all kinds, and my hands are wrecked. I need moisturising, right? So much so that I can't actually log onto my devices with my thumb.
Oh my god.
Because
So
they're all cut and they're all scabbed up or whatever, you know.
Yeah, mine's like that, overwashing, and I'm constantly like that with the moisture. And the other day I went to cook something, and I know the little cuts.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's painful.
I know you mean. What I'll do, I'll throw this on now, Nadine, onto YouTube. I'll finish the label off. I'll just type the word distillery. Oops. I'll just duplicate that layer there so it's the same size. Click on it, and then type the word distillery. D-I-S.
Do you know what I was thinking about when we do this label? I really need to think about the concept of taking the rough with the smooth. So I'm thinking of just having a glass with ice in with the bottle, you know. The whiskey's the smooth and the ice is the rough. Do you know what I mean? Just that type of concept. It's simple, but my nan used to be a Scotch drink and she used to have it on ice, and ice is rough, isn't it? Well, I don't know. I'm just saying that the ice is smooth and the bloody whiskey's rough.
I think. I mean, that's a good concept. Actually, what you just said. I mean, it is with the rough with the smooth. The idea we were going to try and make a thingy, weren't we? A poster. Is that going to happen?
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because if it doesn't, Andy, then should we think about textures? You've just been talking, which makes sense there, about textures. So we could have a rough texture and maybe smooth writing. Or I don't know. It's a way of thinking about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we're incorporating it without doing the poster. We're doing the label. Because I've been reading lately, I'm on graphics groups, and people that want designs are that fake. They're just like, well, I want pink and gold. You know, I want this, but I want pink and gold in it. And they're so vague, so rough with the smooth. You could go, right, okay, I'm going to do a rough texture and smooth writing, or smooth texture. Do you know what I mean? You could turn it that way.
It is. I've this project I'm working on at the moment for somebody in Oxford. It's for a gin company, and they're gonna call themselves something Brambly something or another. And it's really quite the brief's so open, it's unbelievable. But I've got this character, I've got a design. I'm just gonna click on this toggle here and get me options up and bring the type closer together. So if I press on 24, for instance, it'll bring it closer. So I want it open. So I'll put it on 30. So yeah, what I'll do is I've designed this woman, this pig, this character.
Yeah.
Based on a real person, to be fair.
Yeah, too though, otherwise you wouldn't be able to draw it.
It's and I've got this kind of character. She's apparently kind of sassy. She's a bit of a criminal judgment. She thinks she's something in society and she's not. So this idea, this gin label, is, you know, it's starting to become apparent, you know. And I've got this character. It's quite good, like.
Boss, no, I love all that. It's like Scousebird brand. I love that, the rollers, because at the time everyone had the full makeup on and walking around in the rollers. Do you know what I mean? And then they done the Coke cans, which I thought, well, yeah, it is a bit chavvy to walk around with rollers in your hair, and they changed it to Coke cans, and I thought, I love that.
Yeah, she lives in Crosby now, that woman, and she has a
Okay.
shop
Yeah, yeah.
by us. Yeah, I've never met her. I know of her and I follow her, and I think she follows me on Instagram. But she's made a bit of a living for herself.
Mm-hmm.
One of my students, Faye, a few years back, she worked for
Yeah.
her, doing her digital media.
Well, to be fair, she's just started following me because of my views that I've been putting out on the Tories.
Oh,
And
I know.
she started following me because of it. Because I was like, sort of play the blame game and just like thinking, and she's totally against the Tories. To be fair, Andy, I've had some really good ideas for drawings and everything, and I think I'm quite frustrated that I can't use them. Against like Boris Johnson and stuff,
Yeah.
which is right here and right now, isn't it? Like,
I mean,
should be drawing.
if you've got an option, an idea, you should always jot your ideas down. One of my other students, Mandy, she's really opinionated for the government. She's got,
Me too.
she's got amazing thoughts on the matter. What I'm doing as I'm doing this, you've just seen me do that. What I did was I highlighted the word 10, and then let me just do that again. Highlighted the word 10, and I went to the size of the type, and I used my up and down key. And what I was doing was I was trying to make the block that goes around the 10, the coloured block, match up with the years and S, the Y and the S. You'll see that.
Yeah. Because you need to put you need to put the measurement of the bottle down, don't you, as well as the like 40% full and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've got to make sure it's all legalities. I went to a distillery a few years back. Not a distillery, sorry, it was a castle up in Northumberland, and I got talking to this guy who had he was selling some rum, Annick rum it was called, and I got chatting to him, and he said like he'd made this bottle up for the label and got it all distributed and was ready to go, but they never had that little holographic mark on the label on the back. I think it had just come out or something, and he said it bankrupted him. He said I had thousands of these cases of this rum, but I couldn't actually sell because it wasn't legal. So he had to get the label redone, and it nearly wiped him out just because of a label. I've just typed Bladnoch Distillery, made it bigger, and the D and the L actually all matches up really strangely, and would never have done that. That's called happy accidents. Some people might say that's rubbish, and yeah, but I actually quite like the way this D ends with the L. It looks a bit of a P, but Distillery Lowland. I don't know. Just gonna click on Lowland and move it down. Because all my layers are all separate, I can do all this.
You can do that, yeah. And I noticed that when I was putting text onto the label, I kept them all different so I can play about with them.
Okay, I'm going to keep what I've got there. I don't like the background, so I'm going to just change that, okay? So I'm going to go to my colour palette and choose a colour, I don't know, what do you reckon? I'm going to go with like a yellowy light colour, okay? Just so you can see.
What's your flower? Green still?
Yeah, it's still there. Oh, you can't see anything now. You know what? I'm going to go with charcoal, like a grey. Okay, I'm going to keep what I've got, okay? And when I've done my label, you can maybe put a stroke around it, make a black stroke or something. You can embellish it. There's lots of things you could do. I think if I...
learned how to draw the lines.
Yeah? Oh, lines?
Yeah, lines and that circle around the label. I've done that. It wasn't part of it, but I've done it.
I'm going to put a stroke on this. Now, I've not done strokes for a while, so let me just see. If I click on that and go to black, go to edit, I think...
Oh, sorry, Andy's locked himself out. It won't be a minute.
Go on. And then click on outside, inside, center. I'm just going to go to center and click on OK. Yes. So that's made a stroke. Okay. Happy days. And it was on a new layer as well. Look, I'll just press file, save as, and what you've got there is label, okay, just one, just label one. Save it as a Photoshop document, you know what that'll do. It'll save it with all the layers, okay? I'm just going to save it to my desktop. and press OK. And what I'll do, I'll send you this file as well, okay?
Oh, so I'll watch it in a minute.
Yeah, and also, if I make this Bladnock label live to you, the typeface that I've used was from Defont, okay? It's actually called Motor Oil 1937 M54. So when you get this, it'll distort the typeface. So I'm going to flatten the typeface for you, okay?
Yeah.
So you can't edit it. So if I press right click and
What's the
rasterize.
what's the writing called?
Okay, I'll tell you now. I've just flattened all them typefaces, so when you receive this PSD, this Photoshop document, it won't change the typeface. It'll stay as it is. The Photoshop, so the typeface was called Motor Oil 1937. I like it. I use it in quite a lot of my stuff at the moment.
Do you know what I struggled with? I went on to the font and that, and there is a lot that they charge you for. There's a few freebies, but they look pretty similar. And the ones that I wanted, they wanted to charge. So I went on to YouTube and watched this girl, and I wrote down somewhere what she put, and they're cheaper.
Yeah.
And you don't have to subscribe because there's a lot of the writing on there that you want to use, but you can't. You need to pay for it, and it's pointless for one exercise.
You know what? My rule: don't pay for things. Just don't pay
Yeah.
for things. I don't pay for anything if I can help it. I am paying for Adobe, and I've heard somewhere that you guys can get it for free. I think, and I think we can get it for free.
Yeah. I've got it. I've downloaded it all, but that's what I'm saying. I've found a lot of things on there, Andy, isn't working. So I don't know whether this is like, as I say, when I went onto that bar and clicked on, and it was was I in Illustrator or Photoshop? I've been using both, to be fair, but you go to image and then you turn it to a vector, and the bar, I was supposed to move these numbers, and the bar was grayed out, so I couldn't do it. So I don't know whether that's, and then I've noticed like the setup of it isn't the same either.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll have a word. I'm speaking to Donna anyway.
Yeah.
See if even if she gives me the IT guy's number, I can just say what version have we got, because certain things don't seem to work on it.
That is true. Actually, we've it's been a bit of a bone of contention with students and staff. For me, if I buy into a license, which I do, it gets updated every night.
Yeah.
So I'm using 2020 Photoshop and Illustrator, Adobe, the whole suite. And at our institution, for whatever reason, it doesn't update every night. I've heard that they use a disk, but I don't know what's happening. But
it would make sense because a lot of features.
Yeah.
I mean, the YouTube video I was watching, it wasn't a modern one, Andy. I think it was 2 years ago, but like I couldn't do that, and every time I went, it was grayed out, and it was my first layer, so I can't say I hadn't done anything. I had one picture up that I wanted to change over, so it must be something to do with that.
Yeah, possibly.
And grayed out to me just means not available, doesn't it?
It does. It could also be another thing. Is this? I'll just show you on the computer. If you ever make a new document and you make it in CMYK, okay?
What's CYK?
CMYK, it's cyan, yellow, magenta, black.
Oh, yeah.
You know the one, yeah. Let me just show you because it's here. It's in image mode. I use RGB. With RGB, watch this. If I go to my filters, all my filters are there. However, if I just change the document that you're looking at now to CMYK and press, just don't flatten it, okay?
Yeah,
Don't rasterize it, okay? 1 second. Just going to change something. I'm changing it to CMYK, which is for print, and it should, that's how professionals work. But watch this. If I go to filter, okay, it's proving me wrong. No, it's not. Here we go. It's taken away some of the stuff. I'm actually surprised that they're actually. I know when I've made documents in the past in CMYK, and the filters disappear. You can't actually use them. It doesn't give you the options. But with the RGB, it does.
But the drawing that I done was on Procreate, and I just fired it over because obviously on iPad you can't get the Photoshop or anything, so I had to fire it over through email, and I sent it as a photo. What did JPEG I sent it as? So really, I should have had full access, shouldn't I?
Yeah. JPEG
I
is...
made sure it was a JPEG so I could do it. Also, what's the difference between what's a PDF, Andy?
Okay. It's a photographic, PDF. Is it photographic documents? Anyway, a PDF. Okay. If you're saving a document as JPEG, you can send that to any email. It's a really condensed image. Email will receive it. Your friends will receive it. You can get it on your phone, any device, and you can open it and go, yeah, that's cool. Okay, here's the changes you need to make, etc. A PDF, you can open up on certain devices if that device has got Acrobat.
Right, okay.
Now, a lot of companies tend to want things saved as PDF. So if I click on this brief that I've just got, should I show you because it's live? Yeah, go on then.
No, don't show us.
This is the new brief I've got, okay? That's a PDF because it's lots of pages, okay? So a good thing about a PDF, I mean, if I'm sending you a document now and save it, I could go to save as. You can save it as a PDF, but where is it? PDF. Somewhere there. You can see it. I can't even see it. My eyes. I've got glasses. Oh, there it is. Photoshop PDF. And you should be able to open it. But I know that if you're working with, say, Etsy, or if you're putting stuff onto a website,
yeah,
you can't put PDFs up. It won't accept them. It's got to be a JPEG.
Right.
So for me, the purpose of a JPEG is possibly maybe to compile multiple files into a document, like I've just showed you with this gin label. I don't know.
No, the reason why I'm asking is for my Book of the Dead for Adam.
Yeah.
I've done loads of emojis and I have to do them on the iPad. And then when I'm uploading them, they're either not there on Illustrator or they're completely flattened. And I'm like, is it maybe because I've sent it in a JPEG? Is it because I sent it on Word?
When you save as a JPEG, all the layers get condensed into nothing, just one layer.
So it won't work. So what am I best sending it over as? With emojis?
With your emojis? Well, it's a flattened document, isn't it? Just send it as a flattened document.
So as a PDF?
PDF or JPEG. The thing is, if you start, it doesn't work.
No, it basically, I put it on Illustrator because I researched it. It said Illustrator was the best one, and some of the emojis weren't there; they were missing, and the ones that were there were all black and white shapes.
Yeah, depends on what you're trying to send. The other thing is, if you are using Illustrator, when you've got all these pictures and they're from different sources like the internet or a picture that you've got on your desktop, ideally you should have them all in one little folder and drag them all into the Illustrator documents. There's something called links. It's in Window, and you go down, it's called links.
Yeah.
Click on that, and a box will appear with all the layers that you've used that are not linked. And what you do is you click on each one, and you go to the hamburger, which is the 3 lines.
Yeah.
The 3 lines, and it'll say link layer or embed. Yeah, it's embed or link layer.
Link layer.
If you click on that and then save your document, whoever you send that document to, they'll get everything. Whereas sometimes you get this file and it'll say missing files. Do you want us to find them? Oh. It's about linking layers.
Yeah, because all my drawings were done on Procreate. Adam's linking together, but me emojis, I'm just struggling because sometimes they're flattening, and it's making me think I might have to hand draw each one and upload it that way.
Yeah, you have to show us what it is you're doing, because I don't know the project you say.
I am doing, well, we have to look at David, Grayson Perry.
Oh, yeah, Grayson.
And you know his Lost Tomb?
Yeah.
Where he looked at art pieces and he basically recreated it in the way he wanted to recreate it using their proper materials. So I have done, where's me finished? I've done the Book of the Dead. Yeah, this is what I've put together. Adam's put together for me. Now, you wouldn't know it, but it took me hours to draw like the contour on Jesus and me, but you can't see us because when they've come together, this is my overall picture.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got it, yeah.
But I hand drawed all of that. Adam just put it all together for me.
Oh, good man.
But now I need to put my emojis on there because obviously to modernise it, you know the hieroglyphics. I'm doing emojis, and I've got 2 prayers that I've wrote out on emojis.
Oh yeah, I get it. I get it.
Because the concept is modern day, so I thought, right, emojis, and when you listen to all the Egyptian people, no one exactly knows what's written there. And look at emojis, you don't know what people are saying, do you? Everyone's got 3 meanings. So yeah, we're going with emojis, but now I'm just struggling to do my emojis and get them up.
Have you heard of Wingdings?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna show you on Photoshop now. If I just click and type in hello, if I just highlight that, go to a typeface called Wingdings. It was developed years ago.
Oh my god, yeah, I pressed on it by accident the other day when I was looking at it, and it changed them to, like, well, in my case, sweet corn and something else it changed it to.
Yeah, they're almost kind of like modern day symbols and hieroglyphs. Yeah, hieroglyphs. There you go. If I just zoom in and show you. So you've got them. I think the joke one was many years ago. If you type in, I think it's 9/11, it actually has 2 buildings on a plane.
Really?
Yeah, I vaguely remember. Yeah, I won't do it.
No.
But the thing is, if you've got these emojis and these glyphs, you know, there's also the idea of the code. You know, the Rosetta Stone, which is in the British Museum. Without that, we were not able to decode many languages because that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Sweet Rosetta Stone.
Well, the thing is, though, the decoding of the hieroglyphics isn't actually, it's not really good because it's broken English because it was translated to Greek and then English. So they reckon some of the meanings, and if you look, like, at the symbol, like, the water is N, but then in sometimes they use the boot and something to represent, it's basically all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's what emojis are to me, because someone sends me a crying face and I might see that as a happy face. You know what I mean? Everyone sees emojis differently.
And without emojis, a message can be transcribed very differently. And
yeah,
I've written things recently to someone and they've said, "Oh, you're a bit harsh," and it's because I didn't put a smiley face. It just sounded harsh. Yeah. So you've got to watch what you actually write. Without a smiley face or a little kiss or whatever, things can be misconstrued.
Yeah, well, it's like the aubergine. You know, everyone's got different meanings for that one. But that's why I just thought the emojis were brilliant. You know what I mean?
I keep getting that one sent to me by my mate Richie. I don't know what he's meaning by it.
You better ask him. That's what I mean. There's 4 different. Like, for example, I put what I thought was the death face. So, you know, the smiley face with the X's in the eyes.
Yes.
Well, it's not a smiley face. It's like a weird face with X's. Now, to me, that means dead. And then I showed my son, and he went, "Why have you put a sick face on?" And I went, "Why is that?" "Well, you've got the one with the temperature gauge for that." And he went, "No, Mum, that's for something else." And I was like, so if you speak to anyone and you ask what an emoji is, that's why I like it. I thought, perfect, emojis.
Amazing. You know, it's a whole lesson. There's a degree in it, isn't it?
Yeah, you could, to be fair, and that's why, I mean, looking for, like, there's a part that I wanted anyone. I was like, well, how do I look at that? That's one word. And when I looked into it, I just picked there was a family one of 4 people. I thought, well, there's anyone. But then people wouldn't get that. But it's my deaf thingy anyway, which wasn't very nice to do at the moment, to be honest. But I've been concentrating on it all, getting it done. It's not the right time with all this going on, like.
I know, it's I even had I don't know if it's to do with all this corona, but I was alarmed. I think I couldn't sleep or whatever, and I was thinking about passwords. I thought, actually, none of my passwords for anything I ever use are written down or here or in my thumb. And I got out of bed and I actually made a PDF, a document with all passwords.
Oh my God, Andy.
Because I thought, you know what, if I die, no one will be able to get on anything I actually own. And the other thing is, I think it all came from someone sent me a link on Facebook. It's not on tablets or your machine, it's only on phones. But Facebook, since the 1st of February, have been tracking your web movements externally from Facebook, and you go into settings and you go to off content, and it's there. It actually is ticked. So they're actually, and every website I'd ever looked at was there.
Yeah,
Linked.
well,
Mad.
Andy, that makes sense because have you had that thing where you've had a conversation and then you look and you go, why have I got an ad for that?
That's why it's
Yeah,
there.
it's your phone. But the thing is, Andy, they're actually tracking you. I mean, well, China have made it fully aware, haven't they? Because China said they were better at their response because they've got the cameras, they've got the people's phone.
That was
So
frightening.
they
The
could,
faces.
that isn't it? That is frightening. So they just watched, put in their face, and they found who they made. I mean, at a time like this, it's brilliant. But how scary is that?
Yeah, they actually knew what shop they'd been in,
Yeah,
who was
they
there
made.
at that time. It's almost like a sci-fi film from the 80s. It
Correct.
really is absolutely frightening, and it's real life.
Have you watched Black Mirror? Years the old Black Mirrors.
No.
Oh, go back. You have got plenty of time. Put in Black Mirror, and it's basically all things like Facebook's on there, sorry, Instagram's on there, and what it is, this girl is obsessed, and she lives a life by likes. So because she's got so many likes, she can eat in a restaurant. Because she's got so many likes, she can do this. And at the time, we were laughing over it, and it's actually all started happening.
Oh yeah.
So real.
Free products.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. And if you watch Black Mirror, and it goes back, I think the first Black Mirror was made in 1996.
Wow.
It's all about technology. It's a bit like, do you ever remember The Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a modern take on that, and it's every bit of technology. There's even like twinning, where her husband dies and they make a robot, and just watch it. It's the bad twists on modern technology, and it's really good.
I'll just stop filming this.